Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Black sheep. There.
Got it.
I'm ready.
All right, we're ready.
We're on.
What was the topic?
Episode 2.
What was the topic again?
So, if I just say traveling to other countries, I feel like that's way too broad and ambiguous. But, I mean, we've both, I feel like, have gone to multiple countries. You've gone to more than me, for sure. But so here's where the idea came from. Because I'm on TikTok, and I'm looking at, like, the political side of TikTok. And I'm getting the majority of my news from other countries. How they're perceiving what's happening to America. So I was like, oh, I've been to lots of countries, but not really. I've only been to a few, and you've been to way more than me. I just want to know, like, the countries you've been in, like, how Americans are perceived terribly, and, like, differences and stuff, and just, I don't know, our adventures.
So how Americans are perceived in other countries that we've been to. And how that country differs from... Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I guess, but, like, in the things that we did while we were there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm going to be pretty vague with some countries, but yeah, I'm down to do this. For sure.
All right.
You're the oldest. I'm the prettiest, so
I am the oldest.
We'll start with you.
What? Wait.
What happened?
That was rude. Why are you the prettiest?
How am I not?
Okay. Cool. Good.
Look, one of us has...
So I guess how many...
Sorry.
What?
No.
No.
I was going to say, look,
pretty.
one of us has to be the older one, and one of us has to be the pretty one. Like, you're already older, so that kind of leaves the only other choice for me to be the prettiest.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
So do you want me to go first? Or you...
No.
Well, I guess, how many countries have you been to?
Oh, I would have to list them out to know the exact number. Let's see here. Are we counting America as one?
No, we live here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we could do that. So, outside of America, been to England, France, Italy, Germany, Turkey, Mexico, Jamaica, Scotland.
You've been to Scotland?
Yeah, I lived in England. Where else? Peru. And if you want to count Guam, you can, but it's technically a territory of America.
I think other people who weren't in the military would count Guam.
Yeah, okay. So that adds up to 10. Oh, plus another country I can't list. So 11.
Okay. You're way more cultured than I am already. I've only been to Canada.
Is a stretch, but...
Yeah, well, more traveled.
There we go.
I've only been to Canada, Mexico, and Japan.
Okay. Well,
now that I've said them out loud, compared to your list, this might be a boring episode. Great.
All right, well, how about this? What was the
You didn't say what you're drinking. Pause.
Oh, sorry.
What are you drinking?
It is Crooks and Marker Organic Superior Grain Alcohol. Watermelon lemonade.
Ew.
0 sugar. Infinite flavor.
Watermelon lemonade.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's the only thing I had in the
That's
fridge.
a long-winded name.
Yeah, I'm a little out of breath.
I'm just...
Anyways, to circle back, what was your favorite country you've been to?
Japan.
By far.
By far.
Yeah.
By far. I came back pretty anti-American in the most
terrorist way,
like threatening way.
Yeah.
But I was pretty against American culture after spending 4 months in Japan.
You're right.
Because they're so amazing. What?
Yeah, Japan is ahead of its time.
It's true.
They're living in the future.
And yet behind. It's weird. They're very old-fashioned, but they're very ahead of their time. And Americans, I mean, especially compared to the Japanese, were very rude and sloppy and just disrespectful people. It's gross.
Oh yes,
It's really hard to come home.
Honestly, I feel like that's any country I've gone to. I've realized that we kind of suck as a country. But that being said, we are also a very young country compared to the rest of the world. So I mean, we're still trying to find our way, I guess. But
I guess I've never considered that.
Yeah, like if you think about it, like you look at every other country's politics and you're like, damn, they kind of got it figured out while we're over here playing the schoolyard bully. And that's because we're well, everyone's like off to college with their political like stance and governments. We're chilling back in the 3rd grade trying to figure our shit out. Does
oh god,
you know? But Japan,
we're gonna get held back too.
We're going to get held back.
We're getting held back again.
We had a civil war. We've already been held back.
I gotta move.
But Japan was like a place I've always wanted to be, like go to visit, if not live for a little bit with the military. But I just wasn't in the cards. I like the.
Is there an air? Well, I guess there has to be.
There's several Air Force bases in Japan.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And what's crazy is like I'm probably the worst candidate to get to spend 4 months in Japan because I don't eat weird things and they eat some weird shit.
Oh, they eat all kinds of weird shit. And I think that's why I want to go there, is so I can try all kinds of weird shit.
Oh, I don't eat anything weird. I had survival for me was learning how to say chicken in Japanese. And I would just point, because in Japan every restaurant you go to has picture menus. And so I would just point and say Tori until they're like, yes, Tori. I'm like, perfect. Hi. And then I'd get my chicken and my rice. I'd be good. And my gyoza. Like, I'm obsessed with pot stickers.
I got some gyoza.
So good.
What's your least favorite country?
Least favorite country? America.
Okay, remember at the beginning we said we're not counting America, so...
Well, I've only been to 3. So, I mean, I only went to Canada for a swim meet when I was, like, in high school, I think. And so I was only there for a very long weekend. And I don't know if I... Like, I felt uncultured. Canada's I knew...
basically America at this point.
You would think that, except
minus
for...
the politics.
Like, the most embarrassing moment there was in a restaurant, and the waiter asked me if he could get me cutlery, and I thought he said coloring, and then I didn't know what that meant, so I assumed he wanted to bring me ketchup because that was a color. And I looked at my pasta and I said, no, I don't want any ketchup. And all he said was, cool, do you want some cutlery? And I was really confused, and I go, I don't know what that means. And he just holds up his hands and he goes, a knife and a fork? And I go, oh, cutlery. That was the first time I ever heard the word cutlery.
What grade were you in?
Oh my god, I was well into high school, so I would
so
like to say 9th, but it was probably 10th or 11th.
So you were old enough that you should have known what cutlery means.
Oh yeah.
That is embarrassing.
Yep. And then I guess the only other exciting thing, I don't even remember the swim meet, but we smuggled a rabbit over the border. I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
We smuggled a rabbit, though.
Was the rabbit full of drugs?
No. You just can't bring animals through customs, and we brought an animal through customs to get on a ferry.
Why would you bring a rabbit? What was the point of that? Were you guys like, oh, let's just...
No, my mom bought a rabbit, and she was like, I'm going to take this home. I don't know. We just had this fucking rabbit.
Because it had drugs in it.
It was so weird. Maybe. Now that, I'm older and I know that I was naive then, maybe my mom was smuggling drugs.
I mean, you didn't know what cutlery was, so it wouldn't surprise me if you didn't know the rabbit had drugs in it.
Dude, I wouldn't even know. I don't know what drugs are. Honestly, I'm terrible. We used to play these weird games when I was a mechanic, not a supervisor. But, like, just what-if games and what could you do it kind of games. And someone brought up, who could get drugs the fast? And we're federal government workers. Keep that in mind. But someone was like, who could get drugs the fastest? And I'm like, okay. So we're all thinking you got to, put in your bets and then... or your like ideas for the bet, and I'm like, a month maybe. Like I wouldn't
A month?
like I would need to Google street names. I mean, I don't. Do you like an 8-ball of weed? I don't even know. Like what kind of drugs are we talking about? And this is before pot was legal in Washington. So like I chimed in with a month, and everyone looked at me like I was just simply retarded. And I was like, why? What could you do? And they're like, an hour. I'm like, what? And I was like, you could find drugs in an hour? And they're like, no, I could have them in hand.
Yeah, I could have.
And I guess
you could probably have that
I
delivered
guess it's
to
just
your
go to the
house.
school. I guess you just go to junior high school and you can get drugs.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
What were you?
But
So what were you doing?
what
in
was your
Mexico?
favorite country?
I was gonna. Let's,
Oh, Mexico,
yeah, let's run through your
you
countries.
wanna go?
All 3 years.
my country. So Mexico, I was TDY in San Diego, and then they tell you don't go to Mexico, and you're like, okay.
I'm going to.
I mean,
Tijuana.
you can see Tijuana from like work on the base that I was at. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to go to Mexico. So, yeah, I mean, it's literally like the part of Mexico we were in that we went to was literally what you see in the movies. You cross the border, you got kids asking you if you want to buy some gum. And I think we just went to a couple of like little markets and then we came home. Oh yeah, like super white people shit.
Did you make it
Like
back before the
chicle,
sun
like
went down?
don't pull out $1. I don't
Yeah, they're
remember.
gonna rob you.
I used to drink a lot then. I definitely used to drink a lot. So I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm alive.
Weird little fun
So,
fact
yeah.
to throw out there. I used to be an alcoholic. Used to be. Weird.
I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic. I used to drink a lot. Is that different?
Sounds the same to me.
Does it? It's not the
Little.
same.
I mean, I guess at this point we're just splitting hairs. Okay, now you
I'm not
can
an
ask.
alcoholic. I don't drink anymore.
Now you can ask me questions about me.
Okay, so what's your favorite country?
I'm gonna say England just because I spent the most time there.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 2 years with a 6-month chunk missing for a deployment, and then like a 3-month chunk missing for a deployment. So I was there technically for 2 years, but I was only in England for like a year and a half, a little bit less.
But that's where you met the love of your life.
I mean, it's a bit less love of life. I met my wife there.
Michael.
I met the love of my life 26 years ago. Handsome devil. Been with me since.
I didn't know where that was going. You're so fucking weird.
I'm talking about me.
I got that now.
Okay.
Why was England your favorite?
It was my first base, like, in the military, my first time being away from home by myself, and I cut loose. The drinking age was 18, I got there at 19, and I drank everything in sight, partied, like, daily, and then traveling was just so easy. You could, go to the airport at, 6 in the morning, throw a dart at a board, and be like, guess we're going there, and you pay $60 a round trip ticket, and then you're off.
Oh my god.
I didn't actually throw a
At an
dart.
airport?
I wouldn't actually throw a dart in the airport, but you just walk into the airport, like at London, and be like, I want to go to Italy, and they'll be like, all right, that's £60, which is $70 round trip ticket. The plane leaves in an hour.
What?
Yeah, same day tickets for under $100. And then you just get to whatever
outta
country you're
here.
going to, and then that's when you figure out your sleeping accommodations. I would just sleep on park benches or in a
What?
in a hostel.
Oh. Hostels are okay,
Yeah, they're not bad.
I think. I'm jealous.
Well, I just like the old timey culture there, like castles and shit. Plus, there's a pub on every corner, and nothing beats going to breakfast at a pub ordering like some eggs and bacon and a beer on a
Ew.
Tuesday.
Sounds terrible.
And then England also has like hedgehogs just everywhere, running wild.
Did you catch any?
So we used to party at the dorm on base, and then like get absolutely just trashed partying, and then we'd walk over to the base soccer field and trap hedgehogs in like shoeboxes. And so like one night we caught like 10 or 12 of them, and we let them loose in my buddy's dorm room while he was like passed out on his bed drunk. And like for days,
that sounds illegal.
It probably wasn't legal, but for days he was just like finding hedgehogs in his bedroom. Like
were they dead?
No, they were alive.
Oh,
we eventually like went in there and helped him catch them all, but
gotta catch 'em all.
Pretty fun to have him be like, guys, there's a hedgehog in my bedroom, rummaging through my dirty laundry.
Poor things. You're mean.
They all lived, so PETA can suck it.
I don't know if you can say that. So you were 19 then. When did you go to Peru?
I went to Peru while I was in high school, so between my sophomore and junior year.
And you went, that was for your church or your high school?
Yeah, I can't remember. That was for a mission trip. It was a weird stint in my life. But it was a fun time.
To be religious?
Yeah.
What part was...
Both.
Oh. Yeah.
That was a fun time. It was definitely culture shock for a white kid that's lived in the States and been, I guess, privileged his whole life, and then going to a hella poor country and seeing like the slums of
Peru.
Peru's very poor.
Oh.
It was like one American dollar was like worth like 5 soles, and you could get a lot for cheap. And then we still went there and had.
I still don't understand. I guess what you were like. What was the mission?
Spreading the word of God.
Yes. Oh my God! Someone trusted you to do that.
I know. That was back when I was a sheltered child. So before I graduated high school and started getting into miscellaneous illicit activities. So
I think the only bad thing I remember you doing as a kid that I heard about was like you got arrested for walking across a construction site.
Yes, it was just walking across the construction site.
Oh my God.
Maybe one day we'll tell the full story, but
that's not happened, huh?
As far as everyone's concerned, I was walking through a construction site. But yeah, Peru was. I mean, there was like people like were homeless everywhere. The streets were just constantly like dirty. And when I say dirty, I don't mean like trash. I mean like there was just like a layer of like grime everywhere.
Oh.
And like at the end of the day, like if you were like after you got out of the shower and you're like picking your nose or something like that, like you'd come out with like black boogers and shit.
What the hell?
But it was still pretty cool to see a different part of the world, and like the food there was wild, to say the least. We ate like fried cow's blood, cow heart.
What?
Oh yeah, cow heart is probably one of my favorite meat at this point.
Cow heart? Have you had cow tongue?
I have had cow tongue.
My parents like eating cow tongue because they're weird.
As long as you don't think it's cow tongue, it's pretty good. You gotta get past the fact.
I think it.
You gotta get past the part.
I can't get past that.
Once you get past the part that you're eating tongue, you're fine.
Mm-mm. There's no getting past that.
Cow heart and fried cow's blood is still not the weirdest thing I ate in Peru. So they have a country delicacy called cuy.
I don't want to know.
And I'll cash app you $100 if you, in 3 guesses, tell me what kind of animal that is.
Okay, what was the name?
Cuy.
Cuy. And you were in Peru.
Yeah.
I get 3 guesses. Cuy.
You better not be Googling it.
No, I'm not Googling it. I should have. Damn it. Cuy. Kui. Oh, God. Is it bat?
No, it's not
Did you
bad.
start Corona?
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
It's a good guess, though.
Kui. Can I ask qualifying questions first? Is it a bug?
It's not a bug.
Okay, so kui.
Repeating the word is not going to help you.
It might help. You don't know. I'm 35. I might have heard this before.
35? Come on, you're like 33.
I wish I was 33. Maybe I'm 33. Wait, I was born in 86. It's 2020. Oh, I'm 34.
God, you're dumb, actually.
Yeah. I'm just old and tired. Kui. No, you can't eat a turtle. Wait, that's Hawaii. Turtle?
It's not a turtle.
Was it like a baby chick in some soup?
It was not. That's the Philippines, and you're thinking of a duck.
What?
The duck embryo?
I don't know. Yeah. All this sounds gross. What's kui? I don't know.
Guinea pig.
You ate a guinea
I
pig?
ate a guinea pig. Deep fried, too, with the face
Oh my-
still on it.
What is wrong with you?
It tastes
No.
like a greasy chicken. It's pretty good. It tastes like all dark meat chicken.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No. Oh my God.
The circling. Speaking of weird meats, circling back to England, there was a restaurant not too far where I lived, and it was like an exotic meat restaurant,
Oh, gross.
and you could order anything from like zebra to ostrich to like gator to water buffalo.
It was probably all buffalo. Don't kid yourself.
I ate horse meat while I was there too. That was pretty good.
I think it's very just American not to eat horse meat. A lot of countries eat horse. I almost ate shark in Japan, but
like
I just
shark.
couldn't.
Shark's pretty good.
You've eaten it?
Yeah, it's very chewy, but it doesn't
Oh,
taste
God.
like fish. It almost, to me, it tasted like pork fat, but like more meaty.
God. Nope. Couldn't do it. They had turtle soup too in Japan. They had like the baby chick.
If it comes out the water,
Floating
they're gonna
around
eat it in
soup.
Japan. So
Yum. It's fucking gross. Just can't do it.
I mean, I ate a scorpion once, but that was like when we lived in Utah.
Oh, God. You've had such a crazy little life with all the countries you've been to and, like, the States also.
I feel like I haven't
Very
really been to
lucky.
that many states though.
You say that, but you've been to way more than, like, John and I have.
I mean, I was born in Hawaii. Don't remember that. Moved to Florida. Don't really remember that too much. There's a story about an armadillo in there somewhere. And then we moved to Utah, and I vaguely remember most of that. Remember, like, watching a tornado tear apart the Capitol. Some werewolves howling at the moon. Then we moved to South Carolina, and I remember that pretty well. And then we moved back to Florida. So, I mean, there's...
A tornado?
Yeah, I remember, like, our neighborhood, like, sat on a hill, and it overlooked, like, the capital of Utah. And I was, like, looking down, and, like, there was this tornado just tearing through the town. So, like, I ran inside and grabbed my mom, dad, and I think my mom's parents were there. And I was like, yo, there's a tomato outside tearing up the town. And they're like, tomato? And I was like, yeah, tomato comes from the sky, spins, people die. And they're like, oh, tornado. And they're like, shit, a tornado? And I'm like, yeah, it's outside. And like, they ran outside thinking like, we're about to die.
Wait, how old were you?
8, 9, maybe.
You saved the day at 8 years old? How did... I don't... A tomato... I love hearing stories about you saying silly shit. Do you remember telling your mom Sasha ate your lip?
Yes. That's because I had an ice cube stuck to my lip and she like bit the ice cube off.
Sasha ate my lip.
So you were there in South Carolina with us for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember convincing me that our neighbor was one of the serial killers that got away on Unsolved Mysteries? Do you remember that?
Oh my God, yes.
I can't watch that show without laughing at myself now.
Yes. Oh God, hold on.
Yeah, but then from South Carolina back
I
to
thought Clayton
Florida.
was gonna pee again. thought Clayton was gonna pee again. No one in my family's done anything crazy yet. I do remember South Carolina and Florida. Weird things happen. Here we go.
Weird things happen. What happened in South Carolina that was weird?
Isn't that where Courtney lived with us?
Yes. And I only have one memory of that entire time she was with us. And the only memory I have is she was trying to make lunch and I didn't know what to eat. So I was crying on the couch and she was like, "It's okay, I'll make you mac and cheese." And I was like, "Cool, let's eat it." And that's the only memory I have of her entire time there.
Not making you mac and cheese or making you mac and cheese?
Me crying and she calmed me down with mac and cheese.
Aw.
I remember
She was destined to be a good mom.
South Carolina, we had that bird too. Bosco. That big ass parrot. Were you there for that?
I was. I'm going to explain what... Now's my time to shine. My husband just came in the room and is stripping off his reindeer.
Okay.
I think from now on I shouldn't explain what's going on in the background.
You're not to just guess what he's doing?
Yeah. Could you hear him?
No, I could not hear him.
I could see that my mic was picking it up, so I thought I'd explain it to our 3 viewers or listeners.
Oh, you think we have 3 viewers?
I think we do.
It's hard to tell because we can't track it. So
I have to call the cops.
Why? What happened this time? Another homeless person?
No, I did see that guy today. He had a sign saying something about being horny. So, I mean, there's that. Hold on a second. Everybody, stop looking at me like that, or I will call the police. I need a new family.
Come live with us.
At me all creepy. I might. Ooh, I almost did it. It's gonna be me who fucks this up.
No. Hold it in.
I almost did it.
Hold it in.
I'm sweating now. I'm absolutely sweating.
I'll use your slave name.
No. Michael, I'm sweating.
We'll have to re-record.
Okay, it's out. It's gone. It's good. It passed. It passed. I can't wait.
No, you have to.
I'm gonna puke.
Something wrong with you. Hold it together, woman. All right, what else crazy happened?
Instantly.
What else? Let's change the subject. What else crazy happened in South Carolina?
South Carolina.
You're like, oh,
that's where.
The bird.
Ooh, no, South Carolina's where that kid.
Story.
Oh, I don't remember. I remember the bird, but South Carolina is where the gate guard shot himself.
Yeah.
Dad used to have like a scanner or something in the house, and the kid shot himself in the leg. And at first they locked down the whole base. And then when they found out the kid, I tell people this all the time when they're like, you shouldn't have guns. I'm scared of them. I'm like, cool. As long as you, not this idiot. Well, this kid was bored and he was practicing drawing his gun quickly like a cowboy. And then he ends up shooting himself in the freaking leg. So as long as you're not that guy, you can have a gun. You're fine.
Well, all right, and then you said something about crazy stuff happened in Florida. Should we dive into those? Those stories.
Yeah, there was a hurricane and everything flooded. So keep in mind, every time I'm visiting you guys and you're in a new state or something catastrophic in my mind like this happens. John and I live in Washington. Things like this don't happen. You have rain, snow, and sun. Sometimes we get some wind. I don't know. But constantly something freaking happening. Like, here's a typhoon and a hurricane and a tornado down the street and someone shoots himself and you just can't catch a break anywhere.
Oh, were you there?
Like Florida.
In the neighborhood when every other house in that neighborhood that we lived in got struck by lightning? Were you living there during that time?
No, I remember Dad saying something like a hurricane's coming. And he's like, well, hopefully lightning doesn't strike the house. I'm like, why would that happen? And then he's like, well, one time lightning struck every house. house.
Yeah, there was like,
Yeah.
I think in like one summer, like 6 houses burned down in that neighborhood alone.
God, it sounds like the worst place to live ever.
Oh,
God. Yeah, that I remember there was a hurricane and it flooded really, really bad, and then like to the point where the plumbing was all messed up and we weren't supposed to flush the toilet or something. Like there was literally bags in a little trash can in the bathroom for people to poop in, and John refused to do it or forgot or something, I don't know. So he decides to try to flush the toilet and floods the bathroom because the plumbing's all backed up because there's a massive hurricane and it's flooding outside. That happened. That was also the same time he flushed the little spring that goes inside of the paper, or the toilet paper holder thing, and then tried to lie about that for a while. But
wait, is this,
I do remember it.
Is this was when I was still a baby, right?
I don't know if you were a baby, but you were definitely, yeah, you might have been a baby.
Like toddler.
Because I don't think Michaela was there.
Okay, so this is back
Yeah.
when John was letting out Sasha out the backyard and forgot the alarm was on, and set
What?
the house alarm on.
That sounds like something he would do for sure. Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'll buy that.
I mean, it sounds believable.
Yeah, sure, why not? I do remember Dad kicking a catfish out, like into the driveway. That's how flooded it was.
Oh yeah, that happens
He's
all the
like,
time.
what the hell is that, Kia?
That happens all the time in that neighborhood too.
Catfish or floodage?
Both. So they're not catfish. They're like those sucker fish you put in your fish tanks.
They were that big?
Yeah, people, if you let them go like out in a pond, they'll just keep growing.
That thing was the size of like
a-
Dad's leg.
Yeah, they're massive. And I remember,
That's disgusting.
I think it was my sophomore year of high school. Like a tropical storm came and just like stopped over Melbourne, and so it flooded the neighborhood. And like we were swimming in the streets, and like there was like gators and like snakes just like chilling in the middle of the road. And like I was like fishing in the driveway, like actually catching fish too.
What a great place to live.
Yeah, it was good times.
No, what? I do remember an alligator or I don't know what's native to Florida,
Alligator.
but okay, yeah, the dinosaurs. I do remember there being a dinosaur in the fucking pool, the community pool, and we weren't allowed to use it.
Who was telling me about that?
I was.
That was
I
you.
can't believe you couldn't. I can't believe you didn't remember.
That you told me like 3 days ago?
Yeah. No, I can't believe you didn't remember it as a kid. And I also can't believe it didn't happen more than once. Like that gate was not, or the fencing around it did not seem fit for keeping dinosaurs out of pools.
I love that you call them dinosaurs.
Have you seen that video of Florida man like saving his little Chihuahua dog from
Yes.
an alligator?
That was crazy.
Dude, did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
He literally prizes fucking mastodon's mouth open, and then the dog is like, "Okay, I'm free." Fucking runs. The dog looks at him, and then takes off. And then the guy, if you can hear, like, if you listen to it, he literally says, "Now what, bro? Your fingers are
In an alligator.
completely
They're
impaled
in-
by yeah." Damn right. Now what? Who's recording?
It was like a trail
Why
cam or
is
something.
no one helping you? Oh.
So it was on the...
Now what?
It like popped up on like a news feed on Facebook, and it was like, we've cut out the audio to like, because the dog was like crying the whole time. Like some people might
The
find...
dog was like screaming.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they blurred it out, but like apparently it was like a trail cam they set up to catch alligators in that pond.
Oh, well, mission
They
accomplished.
got one.
God. Yeah, fucking crazy. Florida man. Get out of here.
Those are my favorite stories too.
Now
the
what?
Florida man stories.
Oh my, last night, we had to go try to move some sheep into a different field. So granted it's dark, and Clayton and I, because of COVID, are now out of shape and overweight. So we're running around, and we have these two kind of skittish sheep who don't like to be touched. And so as we're chasing them, and it's a mom and a daughter, the mom flat out tripped the daughter to get away. Like, it looked like she stuck her fucking leg out. The daughter sheep, like, hits her foot, the other sheep's foot, like, face plants, endos over, and then trips right into Clayton's arms. And the mom's like, "Okay, bye, fuck you," and ran off. And I was like, "Aw, Coral."
What did I see on TikTok and I thought your farm needed it? Oh, fainting goats.
Oh, God, no.
Yes.
They don't do anything. There's no point.
What are you talking about? They faint. How amusing would that be?
What would you need that for?
Personal entertainment?
That's not what a farm's for, my friend. That's not why we farm.
That's why you have fainting goats.
No, goats are on, like, we used to have, we had 4 goats, and I got rid of 3 of them, and because all they do is scream. Zoe's pretty cool, she's chill, but, like, what are you screaming at? I'm like, shut up.
I remember this girl.
It was terrible.
This girl I was dating back in Crestview. Her family had goats. Like, she had 2 of them. For no reason. Like, they didn't have a farm or nothing. They were just like, we want some goats, so we're gonna fucking have some goats.
Oh my God. That's not allowed.
Like, I would come over and, like, there'd be a goat in the living room. I'm like, what are we doing here? And she'd be like, well, we opened the door to let the cat out, and she just kind of wandered in. I was like, get the fucking creepy thing out of here.
I forgot you lived in Crestview.
Yeah, you lived there for a little bit, too.
I lived there for 1 year.
I think that's about how I think I made it a year and a half.
That's all it took, my friend.
Before I was like, I think I'm going to join the military.
Anything but I literally called home here in Washington, called my parents, and was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And then all they said was like, you can move back, but you have to apply for the shipyard. And I'm in, like, my mind, I'm 19. Yeah, I was 19. I was like, okay, yeah, they're not going to want me. I have no skills for a fucking shipyard, but sure. Yeah, oh my God. Like, if you talk to anyone, I have, like, the craziest, like, hiring experience for the federal government and the Department of Defense. I come home, my parents are like, okay, apply. And I was like, okay. So I put my resume on, like, this ancient fucking website for the Department of Navy. And then I get a phone call, and they're like, do you want a job? And I'm like, what? Oh, okay, sure. And within less than 30 days, I was walking into the shipyard with a job. Like, just, that's it. I applied, and in 30 days, I worked for the federal government. Like, you don't know who. I didn't even have an interview. They needed people so quickly. And, oh, God, now it's a little over 15 years later, and here I am. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, that was like...
Just took a chance on me.
When I went to MEPS, like, the guy was like, so, you been arrested? And I was like, yep. He's like, oh.
A little bit.
He's like, you do drugs? I'm like, used to, yeah. He was like, all right, you're supposed to answer no to these questions. And I was like, oh. Well.
Can't they just look it up?
We're here now. And he was like, oh. All right, well, what job do you want? And I was like, oh, I get to pick.
Wait, what's MEPS?
MEPS is like where you go and they, like, basically do like a physical for you. And let me tell you right now, it is not a pleasant experience. Other than the nice hotel they put us up in, pretty weird.
Did you get touched?
I didn't get touched, but I did have to waddle across the floor, butt naked, with like 12 other guys. And let me just tell you what's at the other side of this room. So you walk into this room. Hold up. It gets worse. It gets worse.
God, okay.
So basically, you go into this room that's like the size of, like, I don't know, half a basketball court. And there's like chairs on the wall on one side of the room, and they like tell you to go to a chair.
Oh no.
On the other side of the room, there's like 6 doors.
Wait, are you still naked?
Not yet. Oh, I just walked into the room.
Oh, okay.
So you get in the room, and they're like, okay, walk to the door. And so you like go from the chair to the other side of the room, and then walk back. And they're like, okay, now strip naked, and you basically had to do like a squat. And then while you're down and like squatting, you had to like waddle across the floor to a door. Again, there's also like 12 other guys doing the exact same thing at the exact same time.
No one thought to say no.
So you get to the door, And you're like, all right, proceed inside. And you go inside, and when I went through the door, there was this old man in a doctor lab coat. And I was like, all right, seems legit.
No, this doesn't seem legit at all.
And he was like, all right, sit on the table. And so I sat on the table, and he started asking me like medical questions and putting a little stethoscope to my chest. And he's like, all right, stand up. And he just like, no warning, just like cupped me. Just grabbed a hold of both of the boys. And he was like, all right, cough. And all I could manage out of the sheer shock of it was just... He was like, it's going to have to be harder than that, son. And I was like, I'm trying.
Oh, that sounds like...
So I So I gave him
Oh, God, there's
I
more?
gave him a good cough, and he was like, all right, turn around, put your hands on the table.
No.
And I was like, okay. And so I did that, and he like spread my butt cheeks, and then he was like, cough.
No.
So again, all I could muster was, He was like, come on, give her a little more. And I was like, and he was like, all right, you're good to go. Take this paper down to the hallway to your recruiter. And I was like, that's it? I got the job? Like, I'm in the military now? I just had to get, assaulted.
Michael, that's terrible. Oh. There actually was a woman a doctor, because we have to get annual physicals at the shipyard too, and there's this woman for years sexually assaulting all of us, and it went on because everyone thought it was normal because no one knew any better. We just thought because like, oh, she's a military doctor. She also had like this what looked like a diploma from Harvard, but we found out it was like a certificate from like a weekend course or some shit that she took. Like, it was not legit at all. And she was fucking crazy. And she would ask, like, for years this goes on. And, like, I remember, like, the worst physical I ever had from her. I walked in the room, and she's like, hang your coat up there. And I'm like, okay. So I hang it up there, and then I'm sitting. It was so she asked you all these questions, and then I had to, she's like, okay, now take off your shirt. And so I was like, okay. And then she asked me to do push-ups. She's like, can you do 5 push-ups? And I was like, this is fucking weird. I was like, okay. So I went to like get down on the ground to do push-ups. She's like, well, you're pretty heavy, so if you need to do them up against the bed, you can. I was like, I can do 5 push-ups. I mean, I am heavy, but I can do 5 fucking push-ups. So I did 5 push-ups. She goes, oh my, you can do them. Writes that down. And I was like, what the fuck? So then she does ask me a couple other questions and checks some things out. And then she goes, okay, can you tell me something that you did or I did or you said or I said when you first walked in the room? And I was like, what? And then she told me that it had like, yeah. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? She goes, and so she repeats it. And she goes, can you tell me something that you did or I did or you said or I said when you first walked in the room? I was like, you told me to hang up my coat. She goes, memory. Perfect. And then wrote something down. And she's like, you can put your shirt back on. And I was like, what?
Why did I take my shirt off?
Yeah. Dude, I found out later she was like having men do push-ups completely like naked. Or it was, so much worse for the guys than it was for the girls. But yeah,
this
she
sounds like a serial killer.
Yeah.
Like torturing her
Schumacher,
victims before she like...
Oh! You're going to have to beep that out. I don't know if I can say that.
What'd you say?
I said her name.
That fucker. She was assaulting people. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but... So that happened. But she doesn't work there anymore. Which is good.
What a see you next Tuesday kind of bitch. Fuck her.
Yeah. It's fucking
Can
crazy.
I say that word?
But, I don't know. I like that word, personally, but I don't know what other people will think.
I want to say it.
Very British.
It is very British. My wife tells me all the time that I'm not British enough to say it.
No? Wait, where is April?
She's in the other room reading the book, so...
Oh. We should ask her what she thinks about America.
That should be a whole different podcast episode with just April.
I thought she was going to do tea time.
Yeah, no. I think we should do a whole episode of her just talking about her come to America story.
While we defend everything she doesn't like.
We can.
We just like
we can try
right without telling her that we are just going to blindly defend any problem America might have.
Even if we agree with her.
Yep. I'm just devil's advocate. Gonna agree. Or gonna fight her.
Oh, we have so many plans for this podcast.
We do. I'm excited.
I can't wait till we start having some guests on here.
That'd be good. The two people I'm thinking of, like, fucking wild. One of them is a legitimate pirate, like, crazy. And then the other person, she's crazy too. They used to work for me, but...
Oh, those are your two friends?
They're good peoples. Yeah. But one of them is a legitimate pirate.
She's a pirate?
Like, he showed up to a pirate... He showed up to a barbecue, like, dressed fully as a pirate. And he, like, tried to play it off like he went to a costume party or something. We're like, okay, Donnie. You look really comfortable in this getup.
I can't wait till we
More
get
so than just...
the family on here and make them uncomfortable as hell.
Who's it going to be first, though?
You know who I think would be fun to have on the podcast?
Who?
Dad.
That'd be fun. After he drinks, though.
Oh, yeah, we got to get some drinks into him.
What would he talk about?
What wouldn't he talk about? Hey, you know what we could do? We'll get him on the podcast and tell him all the ways we used to sneak around him to go do shit, like when we lived with him.
It's going to be a whole hour of you calling yourself out. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, okay. You didn't do it.
I'm a good child.
Yeah, okay. You didn't do anything wrong.
What do you think I did?
I don't know. You tell me.
I made you believe there was a serial killer next door?
No,
I'm really sorry.
That was Utah. I'm talking about when we lived in Florida.
What did I do?
I don't know. You didn't used to go sneak out and drink with what's her nuts across the street? Stacy? Stella?
No, Jane told me to use Stacy's license to get into bars.
So, did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Jane took me to the bars. What are you talking about?
True.
Okay. I want Aunt Lisa on the podcast.
Oh my god, yes. She commented on my Instagram post about our first episode, and she was like, I don't know what this means, but yay!
Oh, she's so happy for us. Oh. She doesn't know. Yep.
She might be one of my...
We should have both of them.
Oh my god, yes.
That'd be good. Yep. Merry Christmas. I want both of them.
Or just get her on the podcast and then have her tell embarrassing stories about the old man.
Actually, let's do that instead.
Way better.
Way better. Alright, I think I just got in trouble because Clayton just went out to go do chores again.
That's alright. It's a man's world.
It's okay. It's my farm.
Exactly.
It's just my farm hand. I love it. So out of all the countries you've been to, England was your favorite.
Yep.
That's good. America sucks. We've come to the conclusion of that.
It's just... So in England, like, their healthcare is free. Like, all their roads are like... They all make sense. Everything makes sense in England.
We're getting political. Cool.
And then... I know, every time you get political.
I'm ready.
Like, even, like, Italy and Germany, you realize that they have their shit together. And then you get to America and you're like, what the fuck? Like, when I came back from England to America for the first time, I remember being at Buffalo Wild Wings. I ordered a beer. She was like, can I see your ID card? And I'm like, it's cool, I'm 22. And she was like, cool, the drinking age is 21. I need to see your ID. And I was like, what the fuck? Forgetting that everywhere is not like England and I can just drink at 18. Then I get my beer and I step out the front door of the restaurant.
Oh, can you not drink? Oh, can you drink openly in England?
Yeah, you could drive down the road. Like, if you're a passenger in a car, you could be just drinking beer in the car. As long as the driver's not drinking, they don't give a fuck.
In Japan, there's no open container law. Also, fun fact, not that you should just go to Japan and get shit-faced, but bars don't close in Japan. If you're actively drinking and spending money, they'll stay open for you.
England didn't close until like 4 a.m.
Japan will stay, like, we would watch people, like, we'd be going to work and there'd still be people in there drinking at like 7 or 8.
See, that sounds like my kind of country.
They just don't close. Yeah, it's so much fun. Karaoke everywhere.
But yeah, so I walk out of Buffalo Wild. I walk out the front door. And I look, not like I was trying to like go to my car or like steal the glass. Like, it was a full beer. Like, I'm not gonna run very far. Like, everyone was just standing out front. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go stand out front, not realizing they're trying to leave. So I run out. I go out there, and like the manager and these like two like servers like come running after me. And just start yelling at me in the parking lot. And I'm like, I don't understand what I did wrong. And they're like, you can't drink out here. And I was like, okay. They're like, you have to go back inside. And I was like, well, I don't want to. My friends are out here. And they're like, give us the beer. And I was like, that's not happening. So I just like sculled the beer and just handed them the glass. And I was like, you guys can leave now. And they looked at me like I was retarded.
You're such a brat. You are such a brat.
Well, they came out yelling. Like, they didn't even come out calmly like, hey, sir, you can't do that. They were just like, what are you doing?
They probably thought you were... Who knows? You're crazy.
It's not how you confront somebody.
In America, it is.
Apparently.
The only time I was ever chased down leaving somewhere in Japan was because I tried to tip.
Because
they came running out to give me my... Yeah, and they gave me my extra money. You don't tip there. They're so honest. Like, I would go places, they like deep into Japan, and they didn't speak enough English, and I wasn't fully confident on like the yen and stuff, so I would just open up my little my coin purse. It would like open up, and they would just pick out the money they needed, and then that was it. Buy my things. Like, here in America, they'd be like, 1 million, please.
See, that's cool. You couldn't do that. They would take advantage of you.
Oh, I love Japan.
And like in England, when I went, like, whenever
the
I go
entire
for a
time I
tattoo,
was there. Oh yeah, tattoos.
The entire time you were there, go on.
Hello. Oh,
hello.
I was just gonna say we're just sloppy people. Like, women didn't even wear jeans.
Oh yeah.
Like, they got dressed up. They wore dresses and skirts and stuff. I felt bad wearing jeans, but we should have an entire episode on tattoos.
We should. But like, going back to being like trustworthy people in England, when I would go and get a tattoo, I had just met my tattoo artist, and he was like, "Hey man, that'll be like this much money," and I was like, "Shit, I gotta run to the ATM. Like, do you want me to like leave a shoe or like my phone or something, like, just so you know I'm coming back?" And he was like, "No, it's cool, man. Like, you can just come back whenever." And I was like, "What do you mean? What?" Like, yeah. He's like, "I don't know if you gotta go like do errands or something like that. Like, you can come back tomorrow or something like that." And I was like, "No, I promise I'll come back. Don't worry, I promise." And he was like, "Okay, it's cool, mate." Like, I started like walking. I started walking down the street, and I'm like, that guy probably thinks I have like separation anxiety or something.
I love you.
Basically, I was like, "Dude, I promise I'm coming back." Like, I told that man I promise 4 or 5 times.
Did you ever go back?
Yeah, like the ATM was like literally like a 2-minute walk away from the shop, so I was like, "All right, just go grab it and come back." Like, my car was parked outside the shop.
Oh, you can drive in England?
Yeah, I can drive in England. It's not that hard. It's just the other side of the road.
Super easy.
All right. Well, do you have anything else you want to say about the countries you've been to, or the country you're living in now?
I'm not, just to make sure, so I'm not reported, I'm not anti-American. I am a little bit right now, but when Michael allows me to talk about politics, we'll get on that. But I think I'm just anti-government. But I'm not, because I work for the government. I want to go back to Japan. I loved it.
Exactly. You're anti-politics.
Oh my gosh. Kids, really, give me 1 minute. I want 1 minute to rapid fire all the things I loved about Japan. Ready, set, I'm watching the clock. Go. Kids are fucking silent in public. I watched a kid break his wrist on a train. This kid ate shit, broke his wrist. I could visibly see broken, and he was like crying, but he was like, "I'm not going to talk." Because in public, they know not to talk. That kid sat there for 45 minutes with a broken wrist. And his mom was like, "Okay, we'll deal with it, but, not on the train because we're being quiet." Kids in buggies, like at daycares, they're just like in these shopping carts. They're just little babies. Japanese babies are the fattest little things I've ever seen. I want one. Like, I need it. Yakitori stands, like, who doesn't want to eat a bunch of random meat dipped in sweet sticky sauce for like 50 cents a stick? Shit was delicious. Like, walking around just completely shit-faced. You could have bottles of liquor in your purse and no one cared. You could buy bottles in bars and put your name on a little tag. And if you didn't have to drink it that night, you could come back and you just say, well, that's my name right there. I'll just take my bottle. And that's a minute.
That's wild. All right, I guess before we wrap it
crazy.
up, I'll do the rapid fire thing about England.
1 minute. Ready.
I'm bad at math.
Go.
So, we go now?
1 minute.
Now.
Started. Go.
Go. Number one thing I like the most is that they call cigarettes fags. That's great. There's a pub on like every corner. Fish and chip shops never close, so you could always go there for like some chunky chips and gravy. Which, let me tell you right now, that's the only way you should eat French fries, with gravy. I love the fact that I can travel anywhere in Europe on a whim for under $100.
That sucks.
And I guess I could throw out. I met my wife there. And
Such a piece of shit.
yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. Oh, good. I mean, there's some pretty good food there. And then the culture in London is pretty cool, too.
I feel like it's just like super wild and bougie.
Yeah.
In my mind, I see it being bougie.
It's like partly bougie and partly country as fuck. Like, a lot of farmland.
1 minute.
Nailed it.
You did it.
Kind of.
I loved it.
All right, well, till next week, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. Oh, here comes my husband. I'm in trouble for not doing chores. He looks pissed.
Bye-bye.
Blah.